Mahima Creations
proudly presents Premier Evening Drive Time Show. Bam bam.
Yes, you heard it right.
Bam bam. Every
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday. Let's beat the traffic. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. नमस्कार नमस्कार खुशामदीद सत श्री अकाल जय स्वामीनारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय जगन्नाथ
हमारे भाई बहनों को बोल दे याली मदद
मौलाना मदद बोलते सारे फीजे बोलेगा निशा बुला बरजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के दौरे में से फालतू पापा ब्लैक शीप हैव यू एनी वो
yes sir hey what man totally made it totally
Altu Baba and this is Faltu Rani
Exactly, Panajan. And आज हम लोग फिर से शामिल हो गए हैं आपके सामने एक और रूप धारण करके
ओए होए होए होए
The blue roop today
ओए होए होए
The color of the day The third day of Navratri
ओहो
Blue
बबलू बुधवार
बबलू बुधवार नहीं ब्लू बुधवार
ओके ओके सेम डिफरेंस लेकिन फालतू नहीं
हाँ.
आज किस माता के रूप में हम लोग किस माता के रूप को हम आज दर्शाएंगे दर्शकों को
वो सब बात करेंगे आलतू बाबा थोड़ी ही देर में
was that my voice? What a nice baritone was that, right?
Are you sure it's going through our mics, Altu
It
Baba?
is obviously going through the mics only. Faltu. Nowhere else does it actually go through. But the thing is it the way my voice sounds in the video? Oh my God, it's awesome.
Oh God, you're so full of yourself.
Meenakshi ji, namaste. कैसे हैं आप? Welcome to the wedding group Wednesday. लेकिन फालतू रानी
हाँ
माता जी के बात करते करते क्या वेडिंग की बात करें तो अभी
हाँ बिल्कुल आलतू बाबा आज का जो रूप है माता का जो हम लोग आज बात करने वाले हैं एक्चुअली जैसे हमारे शो को सुन के हमारी एक बंधु है जिन्होंने जाके डबल चेक किया क्रॉस चेक किया सब कुछ किया वैसे ही हम आपको बता दें हमारा आलतू बाबा भी जाके डबल चेक किया वहाँ क्रॉस चेक किया नहीं वेरीफाई नहीं किया लेकिन
किस बारे में
तूने बोला ना कि सिस्टर्स के बारे में नहीं है
नहीं
प्रोग्रेशन ऑफ द स्टोरी
एनालिसिस की बात है नॉट आई डिडंट गो डबल सी बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट स्टोरीज यू टेलिंग मी राइट देखो स्टार्टिंग ऑफ विद द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ नवरात्रि राइट इट इज नॉट अबाउट 9 sisters right it seems to be like a story about one same individual right जो अपने परमेश्वर को पति में ढूंढ रही है या पति में परमेश्वर ढूंढ रही है
तो बाबा
या अपने परमेश्वर पति को ढूंढ रही है या व्हाटएवर इट इज राइट सो otherwise what I was tell Father analyzing the stories right kind of is if she look at it please bear with me here or should I say humor this thought right or humor me while listening to this okay I have a very strong feeling this is one way of
क्या one way of
getting the girls ladies to be pati oriented okay I said it right now I don't
think so
I said it and I have feeling that way it's my opinion
आलतू बाबा
मैंने इतोस में डाल दिया है आप सोचो फालतू आप आज आई डोंट नो द स्टोरी ऑफ चंद्रघंटा माता सो वी टॉक अबाउट दैट
आलतू बाबा बोल दिया तूने
आई डोंट नो व्हाट डिड आई से आई डिडंट से एनीथिंग
who told you to tell the name man
अरे नहीं बताएंगे ना पीपल डिडंट पे अटेंशन टू व्हाट आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट मीनाक्षी जी कैसे है मीनाक्षी जी बिजी हैं अपने नो अपने खुद कामों में बिजी है नो
और दीपा जी रेडी होके आ रही होगी
हां दीपा जी द बेस्ट पार्ट इज वी स्टार्टेड ऑफ 2 minutes अर्लियर जल्दी स्टार्ट किया हमने
2 minutes नहीं जनरली 6:30 को स्टार्ट करता था तू पिछले 2 दिन से 6:30 को स्टार्ट किया आज बहुत ही जल्दी स्टार्ट कर दिया आलतू बाबा ठीक
है तो अपना प्रशंसा मैं खुद क्यों करूं तू कर तू बता
मैं कुछ कर
लेकिन जल्दी कर दे तो people would not even tune in to listen to what I just now said father don't worry about it you can ask the questions जितना भी चाह सके चाहो तो क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकती है अभी don't worry
हां ठीक है
तू पूछती जा फालतू नहीं तो बस पूछती जा
वेल बनजान अगर आप अभी हमारे साथ शामिल हो रहे हैं हम आपको बता दें आप सुन रहे हैं द हॉट एंड हॉकिंग ड्राइव टाइम प्राइम टाइम जैप pam pam and today as in the progression of our Navratri series right? हम लोग next step ले रहे हैं
third day
about the third day of Navratri and incidentally Altu तू actually follow कर रहा है मुझे मालूम है क्योंकि तू हमेशा वही कलर के ड्रेस पहन के आ रहा है जो उस दिन का महत्व
मैं हमेशा वही कलर का ड्रेस नहीं पहन रहा फालतू नहीं आई एम सो कनेक्टेड विद द यूनिवर्स हो जाता है फालतू क्या करे when you are sync with the पति परमेश्वर परम ईश्वर के साथ अगर सिंक हो गया ना फालतू नहीं सो यू डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग ऑटोमेटिक हो जाता है आई नेवर मेक अ चॉइस लाइक दैट यू नो बदजन मैं तो ऑलवेज जो भी करता हूँ जस्ट कर देता हूँ बाद में सोचता हूँ बहुत मेरे लिए मुश्किल है, मेरे पास दिमाग नहीं है.
हाँ मुझे मालूम है 100%.
करेक्ट, एग्जैक्टली. जस्ट मालूम है तो क्यों ऐसे पूछते कि मैं सोच के करता हूँ. मैं कुछ भी सोच के नहीं करता, बोल जाए कर देता हूँ, बाद में सोचता हूँ क्या किया व्हाट हैपेंड. तो बट फादरनी, बट व्हाई यू सेइंग दैट? बिकॉज आई वेयरिंग दिस. ये मेरा पुराना शर्ट है फादरनी. आई लव दिस शर्ट एंड आई लव दिस कलर. तो मैं पहनता रहता हूँ. इसमें क्या गलत क्या है इसमें फादरनी, ये बताओ.
गलत क्या है?
What is wrong with it?
Nothing is wrong with it. I'm just saying that you're actually following the Navratri colors.
अरे तू मैं फॉलो कर रहा हूँ.
वो भी ना जो ब्लू पहना है, तू जनरली डार्क ब्लू पहनता है, लेकिन ये रॉयल ब्लू है. देखो ये रॉयल
डार्क ब्लू पहनता हूँ.
You generally, this is royal blue, right? This is royal blue.
मैंने 2-3 हफ्ते से डार्क ब्लू टी शर्ट इसलिए पहना क्योंकि डार्क ब्लू टी शर्ट ही था.
हाँ.
ये सब धोआ नहीं था, मैंने धो लिया था तो पहन लिया.
Oh God.
हाँ.
Okay, fine. So, Badajan, आज हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं
is...
about the color of day 3. Day 3 को कलर जो पहनते हैं, ब्लू कलर पहनते हैं नवरात्रि पे. तो हम आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं इस ब्लू कलर का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? क्या है? जल्दी कॉल करें 408-912-2479. Again 408-912-2479. Or you can also call on the video WhatsApp number जो आपको मिलेगा अगर आप हमारे बंधुज पलटन में शामिल है, तो आपको ऑलरेडी मालूम होगा वो नंबर. अगर आप हमें बंधु पलटन में शामिल नहीं है तो नहीं मिलेगा. क्या हुआ तुम?
मीनाक्षी जी आपने सुना ठीक है, पर लेट लतीफ जो है ना वहाँ पे उन्होंने सुना नहीं होगा. अभी आपने फेस में पोस्ट लगा के अभी आई डोंट नो व्हाट एवरीबॉडी विल नो नाउ.
अरे वो
देखा फालतू नहीं. मुझे मेरा टाइटल जो है सब लोग याद दिला रहे हैं. दीपा जी बोल रहे ऑन टाइम आल्टो बाबा. ऑफ कोर्स यस दीपा जी ऑलवेज.
कहाँ बोला उसने ऑन टाइम? दीपा आ गई.
बोल दिया अभी. बट डजंट मैटर फादर. बट मीनाक्षी
ऑन टाइम आल्टो बाबा नहीं बोला, ऑन टाइम पैप बोला उसने.
वो पढ़ना जरूरी है तेरे लिए.
दीपा ये ऑन टाइम कहाँ से हुआ? 5 बजे हमारा टाइम होता है. कुछ भी आलतू. तो दीपा जी बताइए, आज आप भी ब्लू पहने हैं? अगर आप पहने तो बताइए. मैं तो एक ब्लू कलर की, बहुत रॉयल ब्लू कलर की एक साड़ी पहनने वाली थी, लेकिन हाल ही में पहना. सो आई डिडंट.
हॉल में पहना है? कौन सा हॉल में पहना उन्होंने?
हाल ही में. हॉल नहीं बोला मैंने, हाल ही में पहना था. तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू वेयर दैट अगेन. सो आज सोचा कि चलो.
हाँ, बड़े लोगों का ऐसा होता है कि 365 डेज का उसका वार्डरोब रहता है. एंड हर साल चेंज होता रहता है, राइट फादर नहीं? बट माय क्वेश्चन इज, क्या तू जब व्हेन यू बाय द, सो आई हैड अ क्वेश्चन अबाउट रिच पीपल फादर नहीं, इफ यू डोंट माइंड. मैं आपसे एक प्रश्न पूछना चाहता हूँ. यू नेवर रिपीट क्लोथ्स, दैट्स वंडरफुल. बट व्हेन यू डू दैट थिंग,
ऑल माय सो मेनी ऑफ माय क्लोथ्स आई रिपीट.
नहीं एक ही दिन की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं. मतलब क्या कि सपोज 365 डेज आपने खरीद लिया, तो अभी अगर व्हेन यू बाय द नेक्स्ट सेट राइट, एवरी मंथ यू परचेज, सो डज इट एक्चुअली गो लाइक फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट, और इज इट लाइक, डज इट, और डू यू हैव अ डीप कैबिनेट वेयर एक्चुअली गोस इनसाइड एंड दफन हो जाता है वॉल्स में? क्या व्हाट हैपेंस, और डू यू एक्चुअली गिव इट टू समबडी एल्स?
झूठ क्यों बोलता है अल्तुबा? मेरे पास इतने कपड़े नहीं है.
क्या? I know that's all women say that. No, I mean, they never have enough clothes.
I never know. I don't have anything to wear most of the time.
I know. No, it's quite evident because sometimes your sleeve is not there, sometimes you slit up, and you generally tend to wear shorts as opposed to pants.
Okay, that is not what we're talking about.
Never enough clothes to wear. That's true.
Altu Baba.
Huh?
We're not talking about that. Today we're going to talk about the
blue Rani.
The blue color. And why the color blue, and what is the significance of the color blue?
Hey, this is very I don't think people will know significance of color blue.
क्या रे?
Yeah.
मालूम होएगा. You can guess, right?
And after what happened yesterday, विभा जी तो कॉल ही नहीं करेंगी.
अरे क्यों? विभा जी क्यों नहीं कॉल करेंगी?
Because she probably wouldn't have gone check this time. She'll not have anything to come and tell us anything.
नहीं, it is because she would have checked and then she's scared to say anything because you will like.
What did I say? I told her I was trying to explain to you, Falduari, that not everybody listens to whatever we say blindly, right? People also do critical thinking on those things.
Altu Baba.
Yes.
हाँ, yes. तो आपको कॉल करना है, मतलब जल्दी कॉल करो. क्या कर रहे हो आप? 408-912-2479. तुम्हारे हिसाब से what does blue signify to you?
Blue is cool, man. Cool blue. Cool. Blue also can be depression, Falduari. Somebody feel the blues. I feel the blues.
That is dark blue, no? That's not this blue.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Okay. By the color definition, you said royal blue. I don't think there's a color called royal blue in Sanskrit.
There is.
What is it called?
Royal blue.
What's it called in?
I don't know what it's called.
That's why. That's right, Falduari. There's no color reference called royal blue, nothing.
There is a royal blue.
Oh my God. There is no reference to color royal blue.
It's a bright shade of blue. Let's put it that way. It's a very bright shade of blue.
Okay.
Called a royal blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the blue that is indicative of it.
I still don't understand one thing. Why the wedding group Wednesdays?
Huh?
What is so special about wedding group Wednesdays? Why does
good question.
I want to know the nation wants. Why nation? The whole world wants to know. Why the whole world? I would say at this point in time, even the microorganisms that are growing right now in Mars, they also want to know. Whole universe wants to know why is it called wedding group Wednesday, Fatoni, and why is it not called the third day of the Navratri?
Why is it not called Blues Budhwar? Another question. Yeah, why is it not called
why is it not called Blues Budhwar? I think I know, because we don't dwell on the blues.
Yes.
I would have voted for a title called Bablu Budhwar.
No, that was not something. Bablu, I was not going to say it was okay, Altu Baba.
So what?
Yeah, it's not okay.
I have the thing. Okay, fine.
Huh.
You know what? Let me not say anything today, because otherwise I'll get complained by Deepa and everybody else. I talk too much on this.
No, only the bachelor wants to know, it seems.
Huh?
Why wedding group Wednesday? Only the bachelor wants to know.
Why was there no YouTube notification today?
Yeah, there was a YouTube. I got notification.
I got notification also.
Yeah.
Wow, Aditi, ऐसे time pa ये हो रहा है. She's a digressing topic. Come on, Aditi, give us a call. कल तो आपने call नहीं किया था.
हाँ, देखते हैं आप ऐसे. Come on, salty बाबा, ये क्या है?
Salty बाबा, oh my God, क्या मीनाक्षी जी हाथ से बोल.
बोला salty बाबा.
क्या करो? समंदर में नहा के मैं salty हो गया.
Oh God.
समंदर में नहा के. Oh, that's a blue waters.
Yes, the blue waters.
Is there something to connection with that? That's why it's called wedding blue waters.
Oh my God, do you think water is blue when you go into the ocean? It is not. Oh God.
Oh, now you'll say even sky is not blue.
Altu Baba, stop. Okay, तो बंदजन आपको कॉल करना है 408-212-2479 पे. If you don't know, then मान लो कि आप don't know, and then we will share with you.
Bandajan, as you know, we are a multi-channel company. We listen to all what you got to say everywhere on all the platforms.
Correct.
I also want to know, Fatoni, today why Aditi is saying no. Only the bachelor wants to know. Why is that the whole world doesn't want to know? Does it mean that Aditi already knows all the answers? She doesn't want to know, doesn't want to share it with us? Aditi, call karo batao. We want to know.
हाँ.
Neshan wants to know.
हाँ, exactly. And हमारे जो बंधुस हैं, they want to know too. So जल्दी क्या हुआ आलतू बाबा?
दीपा शेष कहानी शुरू करो.
कहानी शुरू करो. नहीं, उससे पहले मुझे ये बताओ कि ब्लू का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है?
क्या है?
आज क्यों हमने वेडिंग ग्रुप वेडनेसडे?
Why does Meta have the color blue?
Why does Meta?
Yeah.
Oh, Meta has that color?
Blue. Even with Facebook is Meta.
But that is not royal blue.
Hey.
That is not royal.
That is the only blue you can see right now.
That's a very ugly blue. I don't like that blue. Anyway.
That is royal blue, by the way, if you didn't know about that.
हाँ, ठीक है.
You don't like the you're sorry wearing also right now.
No, mine is better. तो हाँ, आपको बता दें बंदजन कि ये जो ब्लू कलर है उसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है हम आपसे पूछ रहे हैं. But let me tell you that the goddess that is worshipped on this particular day, who is invoked, is Mata Chandraganta.
Wow!
Yes. And उनका बैक स्टोरी भी सिंपल है. एंड आज दिमाग में अपना बल्ब जला जब हम लोग स्टोरीज पढ़ रहे थे कि हर रोज जो हम लोग आपको स्टोरी सुनाते हैं एक ही स्टोरी है, लेकिन इट्स अ प्रोग्रेशन. जैसे कल अदिति ने बताया था, इट इज अ प्रोग्रेशन इन द स्टोरी, लाइक यू नो सीक्वल काइंड ऑफ थिंग.
Correct. And I tell you one more thing, Fazrani, you've not thought of it. I've thought of it already. Seems to be this particular story is told to actually make sure that you keep the girls in line and look for the Parmeshwar in their Pati or the Pati Parmeshwar.
I do not agree. I do not agree.
It's okay. All. It's fine. When you're in it, you'll not know about it. It's fine. You got to look at it from the outsider's perspective of it.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
They said that unless until you are actually not the right size, you don't diet, you cannot find your Parmeshwar.
That is not true. They never said that. They never said that.
Yeah. Why did they send? Why did Narada Muni tell that the previous goddess name?
क्या बोले?
That you got to diet, you got to do this, you got to go tapas, you got to do yoga.
He never said you got to do diet and all that stuff, okay?
Of course he did. It was prescribed to her that ये सब करोगी तभी शिवा मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा. Shiva. Oh my God, I'm traumatized with the particular movie. I don't know why.
He cannot get over Alia Bhatt, Banjan. What can we do? It's okay.
What?
I thought you never liked her, but you seem
No,
to be like
it's not that
obsessing
her
over
that
her.
acts that act. You should never go watch that acting. Horrible acting.
या तो बनुजान हम आपको ये कहना चाहते हैं कि आज का जो दिन है, this is actually the day that you worship Shakti, the goddess.
Wait, make up your mind. Is it now Chandraganta or
Shakti in the form of Ma Chandraganta. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what Ma Chandraganta's backstory is, well, how she looks, for example, is
beautiful?
that
I'm sure she looks beautiful.
Obviously
Everybody looks beautiful, but please don't go with the fact that they're asking people to diet and all stuff. So what? Big deal.
Yeah, and she has like a, she's got her forehead that's bedecked with the crescent moon.
Bedecked.
Bedecked with the crescent moon.
Bandajan, if you didn't know about it, this actually, if you want to learn more about these things, there is a particular book released by the team of Shashi Tharoor, where you can understand some of those words, bedecked and all stuff.
Bedecked. Don't you know what it means to bedecked?
Same to you, Faltwani.
Oh God. Anyway, Alto Baba.
It's available online. Go check it out. So Faltwani is a big proponent of that.
And it actually looks like a bell. So that's why Ghanta. Chandraghanta.
Thank God it's not the generation. The generation
It's, oh God, you're so horrible.
What? This generation is very bad that way.
Bhagwan ki
Not
main
me.
baat kar rahe, sharam kar Altu.
Excuse me, still she's not Bhagwan, right? She's still Mata.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, the story behind this avatar, now we know, right, how it started and how Shailaputri was born to Himavan and Maina. And she was born to them, and then, because of what had happened with Sati. Remember?
Yeah.
How Sati had immolated herself in the sacrificial fire.
Why? Because
in that grand yagna where her husband was insulted, right? And he wasn't invited to that particular yagna, so she
said, in other words, what they're saying is, don't stand for your husband being ignored or disrespected. Is what I'm sending message to all the girls.
No, they're saying that the message over there was because she went and she, for me, this is the message I took out, because she should have just said Khalli Walli and left. She shouldn't have whatever she had done.
Exactly.
Or she should have taken a deep breath and just said, and blown everything out and gone. But
Correct.
She did it. And then she brought death upon her own father and so many people in her family.
So, in other words, they have told all the ladies, put your pati first.
So she did.
What? No, I'm trying to tell you. This
वो अपने नजरिए पे
नजरिया नहीं यार, तू समझती नहीं मेरी बात. Okay, this is what you should understand. This is how this conditioning happens.
So anyway, so when she immolated herself in this sacrificial fire, which was meant for this yagna, in her next incarnation, apparently, Ma Adi Shakti, right? She is the supreme power. She actually, when Himavan and Maina didn't have children, they went and they did penance and they asked for a child.
Okay.
At that time, she said, "Okay, I will be born to you, and I will be born to you as Parvati." So in this birth, she is born, and then how Shailaputri got. She decided that she was going to go. She was very simple, and then she took on the role of Mata Brahmacharini. What happened, man?
Go on, continue.
Oh, Brahmacharini, and then she went and she did that severe penance and everything, right? And then she basically what had happened was she wanted thousands of years of penance she did, and she went through all the heartache in the world technically, and gave up, sacrificed everything material for her to be one with her love and her one and only love. तो उससे क्या हुआ कि उस टाइम जो भगवान शिव है, he was actually appeased by her immense devotion, and she was given the boon or the blessing also by Brahma himself that she will be his consort. She will be Shiva's consort. So after seeing her resolve to attain him, so to speak, Shiva relents and he agrees to get married. So क्या होता है, बारात आता है, right? So at that time, Shiva, on the day of his marriage, what he did was अपने हिमावान के पैलेस में आना चाहिए, लड़की को पूछने आते हैं, right? So he came with his whole paltan. And who was his Paltan at that time? Because
Who?
Shiva had given up everything, right? He had like ashes all over his body. There were the Aghoris who were with him, right?
wow.
He was sitting like it was almost in a smashan ghat, right? He had those dreadlocks in his hair, and then he had snakes all over his hair, and then he had ghosts and ghouls all
Wow.
around him. Yeah, they were all and in his unkempt matted locks of hair he looked, and then there were the people who came with him are all the what do you call that, the sages, the ascetics, the people who are who work in the smashan ghats, and those are the people who came along with him. So he looked like a terrorizing form. I mean, लोग डर जाते हैं, right, when they see. And this is a king and a queen. These are the royal family, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's a princess, actually, right? Mata Brahmacharini is Roop she took, but then Shailaputri is actually a princess, right?
Yeah.
And she wants to get married to him. So what happened when the procession reached, the wedding procession reached his palace, as it was reaching, this Maina, right, who is the mother of goddess Parvati here, the birth mother, technically. So she was horrified by the sight. And many of the wedding guests, all of them, they got scared, and out of fear, people passed out. They fell, उनको इतना डर लग गया कि it was like what a terrorizing form, and who is she getting married to? There are snakes, there's ghouls, there's ghosts, there's so many different things. So at that time, to save her family from disgrace and to save her
Husband's name. To be.
And to save him any embarrassment,
Uh-huh.
what she did was Parvati transforms herself into a terrorizing form.
Oh, what kind of form? Tell more.
It's like she becomes like this yellow color, like a golden yellow color. Her whole body transforms into that. She has those, she grows arms.
Oh.
Yeah. There's several different arms. She possesses like 10 arms. And in 9 of the arms, she's wielding weapons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In one arm, she's got the Trishul, which is the trident. In another arm, she's got the Gada, right? The mace. Another arm, she's got the arrow. In one more arm, she's got the bow.
Wow.
And then in one arm, she's got a sword. In one arm, she's got like the lotus. एक में गोड है.
Goad.
And
oh my God.
bell, घंटा जो है, वो एक इस हाथ में है. And then she's got the kamandalam in another hand.
Wow.
And in the 10th arm, what she's doing is she's blessing her devotees.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and with all of this, she's riding a vehicle. Like, the first one, she's riding, Shailaputri rides Nandi, is it?
Yeah.
Nandi
is a rider, yeah. And then she walks.
And then what is Mata Brahmacharini?
Walks.
She walks. She's barefoot.
Yeah.
In this, Shakti is in this Swaroop,
Yeah.
where the wedding roop of Chandra is the Chandraganta.
Wow.
That terrorizing roop of the goddess is called Chandraganta, and she became in this form. What she did was she persuaded her husband to be to take on the form of a handsome prince.
So sweet. See?
She persuaded him, and also to make his noble his marriage profession a little more civilized and dignified.
So
she requested him.
So otherwise, it is all upon the female to make sure she can give in to the male thing, and then say, oh, you know what? Let's come to understanding. Yeah. So I understand. So लड़की वाले लोग always have to be भारतीयों का स्वागत करते हैं ऐसे ही ना to.
परंपरा के साथ.
Okay.
No.
My point exactly. You got it.
No.
See, that's traditions come down.
No.
Even now, that's why the लड़के वालों का ठाट रहता है.
क्या लड़का
शादियों में.
क्या ठाट?
Yeah, actually, I always wonder why we don't have
that is the thing. In this case, they had to change. Think
changed?
about it from the girl's perspective.
No.
Shiva agree. Wait. पूरा स्टोरी तो सुन. तो लॉर्ड शिवा then he said, because she requested him, and she convinced him, persuaded him कि शादी हो रही है बॉस, ढंग से दिखने का, right? तो he took on the appearance of a handsome prince.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. And then with bedecked with many jewels, wools, and all that stuff.
Oh.
And then Shiva and Parvati's marriage was solemnized as per the rituals.
Aha.
The day of their marriage is actually celebrated as Mahashivratri. We all know that, right?
That will come to later on. But
Yeah.
even now, the point I'm making here is, Fatmani, I know after this particular show, there's going to be, what should I say? It's like, the so-called, there'll be fatwa against me, Hindu fatwa and all coming
Why?
against me.
Why?
I'm sure Shiv Sena is going to come back and say, Altu Baba ko ignore karo, Altu Baba ko ye karo. Or you never know. One of the biggest, our biggest, what should I say? Biggest one of my what do I call Deepa? Deepa is my is it a hater of my trolls? The trolls who will troll me always on air, right? She probably will start a movement which says ignore Altu Baba and all stuff. But the point is, I'm saying that these traditions are all very nice, stories are good, but why are they always trying to say that the girl has to give in? She's got to take on the roop of a particular thing and then go and appease the husband and look for the Parameshwar and the Pati or Pati mein Parameshwar. But anyway, for that, all that will come to for sure. But right now, we actually have with us somebody very special who has joined us right now.
Achha.
And that particular person also, oh my God, Bablu, nice.
Bablu kya? Kaun Bablu? I've
Yeah.
never spoken to a
Bubbly.
आलतू बाबा
हाँ?
आलतू बाबा ये मैंने कल ही तुमको बताया कि ये 9 दिन चुप रहो
ए,
but looks like you
आपने
you
कली
just-
आपने कली बताया लेकिन ये कली युग है.
you just want to make mockery of all these things sir नहीं अच्छा नहीं
Mockery. That's what I told.
Yeah.
No? Hey, please do it more. I want.
everything doesn't have to be about
Wait,
that
wait. Hold on.
It's
Deepa.
about
Deepa.
conditioning or whatever
My small request, Deepa. My small request. Please do more of this. I want to become famous.
Why,
Or
man?
I want to become infamous.
Oh
You can
God.
say Altu Baba mockery of Hindu culture.
Oh.
Tradition. Asa, no, I
Hey,
want.
no.
Hey, come on, it'll be
Altu
nice. Shiv Sena comes after me. It'll be nice, no?
मैम, अभी देखो मैं बोलूंगी जय माता दी देखो
जय माता दी.
हिंदू ट्रेडिशन का मॉकरी करने के लिए बहुत लोग पड़े हाँ वी डोंट नीड वन मोर
मैं mockery नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I'm sorry. देखो,
इट्स अ न्यू ट्रेंड
I am-
इट्स अ न्यू ट्रेंड फैशन these days okay
Wait,
so
wait,
don't
wait.
fall under that
I am not doing
And-
mockery. First of all, I am not doing mockery of a tradition. I am trying to tell you what I analyze. Yes, I have a different way of looking at things.
No, it's not mockery of a tradition. He is looking at it from his perspective. वो कह रहा है कि ये it is a very patriarchal and
Correct.
very ये
don't think so.
sexist.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
Because
and the story we take on. So I'll tell you what. There is an essence you got to extract from the story, right?
Huh.
The essence is always extracted the wrong way and given as a blind faith to many people.
Right.
I want people to think beyond that. I want people like you to come in and chime in.
And
No,
at
that's
the
not the way.
same
Altu Baba, you're wrong. This is the way I look at it. ऐसा बोला चाहिए आपको.
हाँ अभी मैं ओके तुमने एक्सट्रैक्ट किया अभी मैं बोलूंगी you will do that only if you don't know the whole story. That is why I want you to go back and listen to the story properly, read about it and learn about it more in order to get a better idea.
Wonderful.
I
That's
said
exactly
the
what I want to
peripheral-
hear from you, Deepa.
नहीं देखो पेरिफेरल तुम्हें ऐसा लगता होगा that is the reason because you haven't read about it or you haven't dealt with it in a deeper way. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Correct. Exactly what people will say when I give a counter of it. They'll say you don't now read it and all stuff. But do they know if I read it or not? How I understand is different. Whether I read it or not is different. How I understand is different.
कितने लोग लेकिन दीपा एक चीज है कितने लोग डीप प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं
हाँ, exactly.
लाइक अगर किसी लड़की को बताया जाए देखो माता ने इतना सैक्रिफाइस किया अपने पति को खुश करने के लिए तो लड़की सोचेगी ना
Let's do one thing here.
हाँ.
Don't defend me that way because what
No,
happens
I'm not
is
defending you. I'm not defending you. I'm saying, people say, right, when a woman is being abused, they'll say, oh, Sita Maiya कैसे अग्नि परीक्षा भी दे दी, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
They will say that and they'll say, look at how Sita Maiya, even though Ram turned her out of the house. How many people actually think about the fact that he turned her out of the house despite all that?
Yes, exactly.
How many people actually ask that question is what we're saying. I
So
think that's what he's talking
my
about. deep
purpose,
processing.
my purpose is I'm not saying that I have not. I want to raise the question in people's minds.
क्या बोला नरेंद्र शाह जी, कॉल करके बताओ। उन्होंने बोला स्टोरी नहीं, स्टोरी का मैसेज पकड़ो।
Yes, exactly. स्टोरी का मैसेज पकड़ो, स्टोरी नहीं दीपा, स्टोरी का मैसेज पकड़ो।
तो दीपा से पूछो
तो मैंने पकड़ लिया, मेरा मैसेज अलग है, तुम्हारा मैसेज अलग
तो
है।
बोलो दीपा।
Good, yeah, दीपा, that's exactly what we have to say. हाँ.
मैंने पहले ही लिखा फेसबुक पे कि आई डोंट नो ब्लू लाइक हाउ द प्रोग्राम स्टार्टेड, आई टोल्ड फालतू रानी that I don't know this particular colors thing. I didn't read. That's why I immediately मैं शो पे आई because I want to learn about it.
Correct.
पहले without learning the basic thing, उसका counterpart learn करके मुझे अपने I don't want to mess up my thing, my vision and my, you know, I don't want to get into that zone wherein like, you know, I want to celebrate it. I want to be in the right path. So I want to first listen to the story first of all, and whatever I heard from you Faltu Rani, and it is true that happened. मैंने उसमें वो सीरियल में बहुत सुंदर से उन्होंने दिखाया कि what happened, like, you know, they come and she really gets scared because they are all smeared in ashes, and it's like, you know, because usually in the shadi it's so beautiful and everything is decoration. Sab, it's a time for celebration.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
But ये लोग, but I don't remember this part of seeing, like, you know, she turns into the blue thing. I
not
don't
blue.
Oh,
not
she doesn't
blue.
turn blue.
She
She
turns
turns golden. But the color blue मैं बहुत ढूंढी as to why it is the color blue. Basically, apparently, the significance मैं बता दूँ क्या?
बता दो darling.
Apparently, blue signifies richness. And when she persuades Lord Shiva to transform himself into a handsome prince, he becomes transformed into a very rich looking prince. So that richness that blue signifies is why the blue is the third day, the color of Mata Chandraganta is what they say. Oh. But she didn't turn blue. She turned supposedly golden. Like a yellow golden, like Dharavna golden kind of thing, which is not normal. And she had that you know, the third eye kind of thing, and then she has the moon, and she looks
the way you are saying Faltu Rani, like even blue signifies Chandrama. देखो जब, like, you know, the sky, because moon is always in the sky, and like, you know, and the water is blue. Like all the resonates, and especially blue color resonates well with Shiva also. So maybe Shiva वो शिवानी हो गई उस दिन, like, you know, they got like married and whatever, like, you know, you can see that way. Maybe that's the reason blue is like उन दोनों का शादी का पहला ये.
I like the way I like the word you use, Shivani.
Shivani. Oh.
Hey Shivani, tu item purani.
Hey!
क्या है?
तू ना असुबा मार खाएगा ये seriously लोग.
देखो, I want to explain because I was attacked by Deepa just now by saying that I will go read what.
Attacked? Wow!
Attacked? तुमको कौन attack कर सकता है?
आपके अलावा और कौन? अच्छा, by the way, the point is why I want say Deepa, I'll tell you what. When I do come on the show, I want to make sure somebody asks questions which are totally out of the world. Okay, it's wonderful and it's great to have perspectives from you and other. I want other persons to call up and share their perspective. I'll tell you why. I'm going to show you an object right now, Deepa. Tell me how many sides you see of this object.
Can she see it?
Yeah, she can see it. It's a cube. So how many sides can you see right now?
Yeah, I see 3.
How many sides do you see? You're an architect, so you should tell me. Does it only have 3 sides?
No, I see 3.
You see 3. Are there any more than 3 sides in this?
Yeah, of course there are more.
There are more, right? So that's what I'm talking about. You can see 3, I can see 3 from this angle. So in other words, when we put our thoughts together is when we get the idea of a cube. So I want us to have the 3-dimensional view or a 4-dimensional view of our stories. That's when you understand the stories and the essence behind. And I love tradition, by the way. You should know this. I respect tradition deeply, but I want people not to blindly follow it. Hence, I ask those questions to think about it. Why isn't there a story like this for the men? Why aren't men supposed to do all many things? Why is it only?
You are not asking questions, Altu Baba. You are making a statement.
The statement is made. The statement is made. The statement is made. So you can come and answer that question, right? You can come and say, hey, Altu Baba, you're wrong.
अरे मैं बोल रही हूँ ना, अभी मैंने तुम्हारी बात सुनी. You are making a statement and saying that this is how it is conditioned. All women are conditioned. This is wrong. This is.
I'm not
So
saying
is
wrong.
that
I'm asking you. This is what's happening. So now, if I had not made the statement, Deepa, you wouldn't have picked up the call and called me right now. Correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? You called up. You hurriedly went and wear a blue saree and called me immediately
अरे नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
because Adhu was wrong. I want to call and tell him he's wrong.
Oh God.
I have to excite. I have to
अभी
get you to pick up the phone.
बाकी लोग कॉल करेंगे, मैं रखती हूँ, ठीक है?
अच्छा क्या आपका आंसर मिल गया? ओहो।
क्या? मैं सुनूंगी सबकी.
नहीं, लेकिन दीपा he brings up a good point. Seriously, आप बोलो.
मुझे I know you will always defend him at the end.
No,
of the
I'm
Yeah,
not
says it, don't
defending.
defend
I'm
me.
asking her. What is the message you got? So tell us what the message you got.
हाँ.
You got from the story.
अरे
What is-
मैंने अभी पूरी मैंने बोला ना, वो कहानी मैंने पूरी सुनी नहीं ना.
Ah.
So I already gave my message, my version of it. Like that, maybe that's why there is a blue, and because they both met each other, and finally उनका जो सपना था वो पूरा होने को था.
वो नहीं. I'm not talking about blue. I'm not talking about blue. I'm talking about the story is that okay, she transformed herself into that terrorizing form, and then she convinced him so that he can transform himself into a handsome prince
Acceptable form.
and an acceptable form, so that she can marry him the way her parents envisioned the marriage. So इसमें आलतू बाबा didn't have an issue with the color blue,
Yeah.
but his issue is why is it that a woman has to make so much effort to please a man? But I thought your message is something else that you took from it, because I have a different message that I took from the story.
It's not just her.
Yeah.
If you again, I'll go back. If you read and learn more about the Shiv Puran, he also did a lot of things to
Yes.
please her. It's not one way.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of how they have given the justification is like in the beginning of the world creation, he gave up Sati yani Parvati is Srishti. It's like Sriti. They have given like Srishti in order for the even like for trees and everything. I mean, she is the Srishti. So वो he gives up his wife. ऐसा कुछ है. If you read it properly, I may not be able to convey it the right way. So he gives up and he becomes sannyas in the beginning. So in order for the creation of the world. तो बाद में he goes into the sad mode पहले, before Sati was born only. तो बाद में once everything is done, मतलब उसके बाद they come the Trimurti, they have a meeting and they say okay, finally अभी like the cycle has started now. It's a time for Sati Milan with Shiva. तो तब वो that's when this story starts.
So you're talking about genesis of Purusha and Prakriti. I understand. So the yin and the yang of the world. So I understand. So my point only is this: the story has moved further, and now he has come to attain his wife, right? And he comes in a certain form, and that form was not acceptable for the people of the girl side. So the girl had to change her form to get him to understand that, hey, you know what, come back to the form which we accept. So my question was, this particular story, not the big one. You're talking about Prakriti and Purusha, that's different issue. I understand that totally. That's how we see.
वो भी सच दच के आता है ना.
हाँ, तो what is the deeper? So Naren ji said a very interesting story नहीं, message के ऊपर जाओ. तो आपका क्या था? What did you take away from that particular story? What?
वो नहीं अपना बताएंगे जब कॉल
आप
करेंगे.
अपना बताओ ना.
मैंने बताया ना ऑलरेडी. It's not one way, it's two way. उसने भी बहुत सारे sacrifices and he has also adjusted many things.
दीपा एक मिनट सोच. तो आलतू बाबा, तेरे हिसाब से लड़की को सब कुछ करना पड़ता है, राइट? बट वेट, तुम्हें सुनना पड़ेगा. See, the whole reason that she went through all of this to reattain her love is because he destroyed half the world in the angst that she's gone, that he lost her. So he lost hope, right? He lost hope, and he went and he sat in the forest, and nobody knew what he was doing. It was just, he just got lost, and they needed to bring him back, right? So for that, it just shows how much he sacrificed for her as well. It was without his knowledge. I mean, okay, we are the,
That's what Deepa is telling.
wait, this is all ये जो gender है हमारे दिमाग में है, right? We are the human beings who understand man, woman and all that stuff, but it may not have been that at that time. It's just a question of the energies, right? And it
depends on what serial is telling. But anyway, so Deepa, I want to say one thing: no matter what happens, we still love you.
Oh God, Altu Baba.
That is going to be for there forever. Deepa. We still love you.
Wait, so I'm saying that it is not. If you actually, it depends on how people look at it. Perspective के हिसाब से जाता
I
है.
want that to come out. No, Deepa should say that. Right?
She said
it.
no. She said
I
no.
agree,
That's
Deepa.
not what all
I
he
will
did.
take. Deepa, I acknowledge whatever you're saying. I think you're right. Where she sacrificed because he also has sacrificed. Correct. That's what you're saying, right? There's a balance over there. So the beautiful thing about this equation, what I want people to realize is, every story you read to right now, Puran, whatever story you read, it is not heavy towards patriarchy. It actually is all about balance. But when it is said out in people, when it is imparted to people, there's always a misrepresentation of
Correct.
the balance, weighing more towards the Purusha as opposed to the Prakriti, which is the female.
I'm sure she would have encountered that. Deepa, you grew up in India, right? So you would have encountered that, right? Where they would have said, "Oh, you should be like this, you should be like that." Sati Savitri types, I'm sure you would have encountered that, right? Even today, if there is, I don't know if you have encountered that right now in your and Gopala so in love, but if in case, I'm sure somebody would have said, "Oh, like the woman has to compromise and give in, and the woman has to sacrifice and go." So they use these stories as folklore to kind of convince the woman to do whatever needs to be done.
But what
his take is.
But what I really liked was Deepa went deeper into the story and she said that he himself has done a lot of sacrifices, so there is a balance there. And that's what the life is happening because of balance. Even one small tip of the thing from here, there will be a total imbalance. And that's what the story talks about. When she was not there is when he went destructing the whole world, according to our Puranas, right?
Yeah.
He didn't exactly distract. He went into the other mode, so he stopped doing what he has
correct.
He has a to संसार नहीं चल पाया. So everywhere there was like imbalance and everywhere भूकंप अकाल ये सब होने लगा. And then like Vishnu and Brahma, they sincerely they request him multiple times. Then like and after that, and it happens so that like see, when you do like karma, right, like you believe in karma, right, so it balances out, and even the energies, right. So when people are married or two people come closer together, there is a higher version of like higher level of energy transfer that happens, like भाग्य जो मिलते हैं दोनों इनका, like it balances it out. Like good and bad omens and good and bad things, even in the marriage, and that's the whole different thing. But in general, that's what happens.
Correct. Very good. Very good.
To
so
come up with some with you.
Yeah. So Deepa, I agree with you. I'll tell you one more thing. Why
did not to achieve just Shiva, it's to bring in the balance in the world.
Correct. So good. So wonderful.
She more important. Without him, he is Adha. It's like dono are they are both Ardhanareshwar. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's
they are half and half.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Other, yes.
Very good. I totally agree. I acknowledge you and thank you for sharing this. You know why? This particular exercise, what we're doing right now is conversation, right? We are trying to learn from each other. I never say I know everything. I want to learn from people. So here's the thing. Very interesting Facebook page message. I know you're since night you're talking to us on the phone, so probably you can't see the Facebook message. Narenji's put something very interesting, and that's also you got to look at. So he says, पहले प्यार से बोला होगा, माने नहीं होगे, तो इसलिए रूप आ गया.
रूप आ गया.
So in other words, it's hey, I'll tell you what. It actually is a very good message.
Yeah.
If when people are not able to see what they are doing, you have to show a mirror to them.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So in other words, it's exercise in empathy. So it's saying that even a person who's not a person, even the entity like Shiva himself could lack empathy at times. And that is where you have to show, no matter how powerful the person is, they need to realize that they have to be humble. There's a lesson in humility here. right? Lottery, that's what I'm trying to get at. हाँ.
अभी मैं रखती हूँ, नरेन जी कॉल करेंगे. He has lot of to say.
Oh my God, इतना गुस्सा मत करो नरेन जी.
Listen, what you have to say.
दीपा जी, thank you so much, दीपा जी. Thank you, दीपा.
Thank you, Deepa. Happy
इतना गुस्सा
Navratri.
करते
Bye-bye.
थे. दीपा जी, आराम से smile more यार. Thank you so much. But anyway, the फालतू thing is good thing Deepa actually called up because
तू ना हाल तू बाबा.
hey, it's fun to actually.
सभी को आज देखो विभा का कॉल ही नहीं आया. तू क्या ऐसे
कल दीपा का भी नहीं आएगा.
सभी को ऐसे उड़ाते रहे तू.
कल दीपा का भी नहीं आएगा.
चलेगा. Okay, you know what?
नहीं,
No,
don't.
I'm telling you seriously. तो ऐसे बात करता रहेगा तो लोगों को ऐसे उड़ा देगा.
The point is, hey, you understand this, okay? Fine, but okay. Is there any mistake in what I'm saying?
Is there any?
Is there any? Okay, I offended people. Yes, I understand. Probably offended people. If I offended you guys, sorry about that.
See,
but the point is, I want to make one thing.
Wait, let me tell you something. But then, for those of you joining us, this is the most hot and controversial and honking drive time jam. Bam bam. Now, if you're wondering what the heck is going on, why are these people, when you're talking about wedding group, ka kya connection hai to what Mata Chandraganta is and to what Altu Baba is saying about sexism and where gender expectations and stereotyping, and then you have Deepa saying no, don't mock it without knowing what it is. Well. Let me tell you, that's what happens on Pam Pam. This is what we call constructive conversation and a dialogue. And it's important that we have these dialogues. Malam hai kyun Banujan? Because there is too many people, when you follow something just based on propaganda, it becomes dogma.
Yeah.
Without understanding the real significance or perhaps the symbolism behind what was told. Maybe she didn't assume that form. Maybe it was a form that she manifested in his head.
Maybe.
Or in the heads of people.
Exactly.
To normalize Shiva's appearance as somebody who was different.
Yeah. And first of all, to actually think that you can wrap your head around the concept of Shiva, I would say it's a folly.
Yeah.
He is beyond... I wouldn't even say he. Let me just say it is the concept of Shiva is real beyond all those things. But the point, I wanted to say only one thing, Father, before I give the back to you.
Only one thing.
Yeah, only one thing I want to say. This conversation is what actually helps us to analyze more.
Yeah.
No matter how you might read 10,000 scripts. I read a bunch of stories about Navratri. You won't believe it. It's so poorly written.
Yeah.
The people who are writing the stories have taken from somebody else. So the generation loss has happened over there itself already. So the thing is, you will see 10,000 articles probably talking about the same thing, copy and paste it into multiple blogs.
And there's one more thing that I want to mention, Banjan. Navratri is largely, please think about it. Please think about it and think about it with an open mind. All the pujas are performed by whom? Unless it's in a temple.
Correct. You got it.
What does that sound, Altu Baba? You did something
I'll
just now.
I'll fix that. Don't worry. Continue.
And Navratri is largely celebrated by the, when we say celebrated, all the rituals, all the pujas, all the prayers, all the duties are done by women. Why? Please think about it. I just want you to think. I want you to think about it from a very open-minded perspective. I really want you to think about it. But although I have to tell you this, there's a reason why Deepa feels so passionately.
That's good.
Also about the fact that you were not. By the way, I want to clarify it for everybody. He was not mocking Hindu rituals. He was mocking dogma.
Yeah.
He was mocking people who do things without understanding the true meaning behind it, like putting up a Gucci bag in your golu. Or for that matter, not understanding what a saligramam is.
Or probably I don't know how to communicate.
Yeah, no, wait.
Huh.
So, but then to think about it, and I have actually seen this, and I can completely empathize with where Deepa is coming from, because there's too many people mocking without understanding what Hindu Dharma stands for, calling it Hindutva, because some idiot, I'm sorry, that is an idiot who does not understand Hindu Dharma, who claimed Hindutva is nonsense. Okay, that we are phobic of all other cultures and all that. Hindu Dharma is Sanatana Dharma. It is the most accepting of all the dharmas. Yeah. And whoever said that, and I think that is what she's saying, that she she vehemently, I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but what she's thinking, I'm just speaking for you, Deepa.
Oh my God, how mean? How can you speak for somebody?
No, I'm speaking. I think that's where she's coming from.
Whichever way she came from.
I think it's a lot of people. I've seen too many Facebook groups where they talk. Oh my God, they are like so. They talk nonsense about the Hindu culture and traditions, and they really do not believe that people should take pride in their Hindu origin, because Hindutva is Islamophobic or Hindutva is any other religion phobic, and Hindutva is. Whatever, some person who's not even born in our land, he's the person who wrote a paper. It seems he's from UC Berkeley. It seems so he became like, everybody starts espousing his version of what Hindutva is.
The Western view of ourselves is interesting, right? How we actually see ourselves in other people's eyes.
Yeah, seriously.
But the point is, the challenge, I don't know if you know this, Faltwani, in not 1800s, I think 1600s, 1400s, 1200s, a religious movement came up, right? If you'd actually pay attention in school, if you schooled in India, there is one particular portion in social studies, they call it, they talk about the religious movement, they call it.
Correct.
Right? This is a time when we had all the acharyas, people who were actually wonderful, people who Buddhism came in very strong that time, where Ashoka ruled over things, and we had all the Cholas and who were really powerful at that time, right? I'm talking 1100, 1200 BCs, like not BC, AD, 1200 and 1100 ADs, right? This time there used to be scholastic debates. Scholastic debate was taking a particular topic and breaking it down, understanding what would have happened, what probably could have happened in those Puranas. That is something which we have lost over a period of time. We have lost the tolerance to accept people's viewpoint.
Correct.
And present our understanding of it.
That's
so
true. I
I accept whatever Deepa is saying. Deepa, you should say whatever I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't have to. You can just say, no, it doesn't make sense. But the point is, conversation is important. This conversation is very, very important. No matter what happens, we still love you. That's what I'm trying to tell you again here. And if anything, I just want to make sure that, our next generation listening to us right now understand that this is not just, because we say so, because it said so. Look at the logic behind it. The story is wonderful. It's got so much depth in it, meaning in it. And I really love what Narenji posted on Facebook. He said, story mat jao, message dekho. That's what you got to do. You got to analyze deeper into a story and understand what exactly happened.
Correct,
right?
correct.
And like how Deepa analyzed the story and she said that it was a balance because he already had done so much sacrifice, nothing wrong in her becoming what was trying to show off her doing her part to to equate the equation, right?
Right.
And similarly, if at all you have a wedding that way and somebody comes unkept, you can tell them nicely. If they don't listen nicely, you got to show them a mirror and say, hey, this is what you look like. And they'll realize.
Well, yeah. So, Jan, today we're talking about Mata Chandraganta, and wow, did she get what do you call, did she get quite a response today on the show?
Of course, isn't that good?
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a rich conversation.
Well, it is a very rich conversation, and actually the color blue does actually signify. So here's the thing. The beauty of Chandraghanta, if you actually think about it, she's called Ranachandi also. She's also called Chandika, right?
Uh-huh.
And what the beauty is, she's got scary things.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she's got a sword, she's got a bow and arrow, she's got a mace, a gada, and she's got everything, right? All that. At the same time, she has the symbols of asceticism. That is the kamandalam. She's got the lotus, the piece of the sign of a woman, right? The fragility of a woman. And of all that, one of the prominent arms is the arm that's blessing you.
Well,
The compassion of a mother.
uh-huh.
And this mix that you find, the whole thing, right, is only possible in Shakti, in her, in that goddess.
Yeah.
It is that the fact that I can take on this form of, going to battle for my children, if against any kind of deadly forces, but at the same time, I also, that is within me, and I can also be the most compassionate mother to protect you. And at the same time, I can be completely detached, and I can be that significance of the ascetic in her.
Yeah, and people say, how can your goddess have multiple arms and everything, right? Because we talked about Chandraghanta having multiple arms.
Correct.
Please don't look at his arms growing out of them like mutants. No.
Yeah.
It's more of somebody being multi-talented, multifaceted, having all the skills.
Right.
And how would you depict skills in a imagery?
Right.
how would one depict skills in imagery?
That's right. How would you depict it? By putting
multiple arms to depict an imagery.
Correct,
I'm talking imagery not in terms of drawing, in terms of writing also.
Correct.
Ravana, if you talk about Ravana, have 10 heads. How can not 10 heads balance it also? No.
Right.
He had the intellect of 10 people, as in 10 heads you could think of at that level. So his capacity of the brain was so much, right? So now the point of what I want to make here is, in terms of Chandraganta, right? One more thing which is very important is the symbolism of the goddess is in terms of cleansing also. Cleansing negative aura.
Huh.
It is part of that. So when in our houses we have those bells, right? In Indian households, if you look, they have the small bells. Why is it important to ring that bell? To cleanse the aura. That's very important.
To cleanse the aura.
Yeah.
What is that?
The ring of ting 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 ting, right?
Huh.
It actually has vibrations to it.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that vibration cleanses the aura. When you say aura, negative aura, positive aura, we think about energies, right? There are negative energies, positive energies. It has to be there. There's positive energy, there has to be negative, right? So it actually cleanses the aura. So when he came with all the... because, see, Shiva's concept is about destruction. Creation, maintenance, destruction. That's the three things, right? Three-pronged approach to the universe according to Hindu, the Sanatana Dharma, right?
Right.
We have Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, creator, protector and then destructor.
Right.
Without destruction, you can't have creation. Without creation, you can't have maintenance. Without maintenance, you can't have destruction. So everything has to destruct. Thus negative energy comes in, right? So negative energy is all about destruction, right? So she was the person who was bringing in the particular balance. So the why that for her to be accepting of the particular thing, making sure that there is things she had to cleanse the energy around to make it positive. That's why the Chandraganta concept is.
Oh wow.
It is most importantly it cleanses things.
Correct.
A golden color because
it is the
sheds light on
sheds
darkness,
light on darkness,
which actually is not a bad thing. Again, there's no good and bad in our Sanatana Dharma. It is more of only the darkness.
Right.
And that light was to shed light and cleanse the aura.
Correct.
When he entered, so he did not change his form. Please
Yeah.
understand one thing. She changed the atmosphere around him. Namaskar, आप खा रहे होते पैम पैम के wedding group and Wednesday day में who's this? Hello.
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय स्वामी नारायण।
जय श्री कृष्ण। हाँ बोलिए सर।
Same difference. कैसे हैं सर?
बहुत बढ़िया हो, आप कैसे हो?
मैं फर्स्ट क्लास हूँ। सॉरी अगर कुछ मैंने कुछ गलती से बोल दिया तो गुस्ताखी माफ कर देना प्लीज।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आपने कुछ गलत नहीं किया, आपने सब सही कहा है। ओनली द थिंग मैं इतना बोलना चाहूंगा कि जो भगवान ने जो जन्म लिए हैं, जो रूप लिए हैं, माता जी का लिया है, कृष्णा का, विष्णु का, ब्रह्मा का, वॉट एवर दे हैव डन इज टू गिव अ मैसेज टू अस। जो रियल मैसेज दिया है उसमें से हमने, तुमने, कोई साधु जी ने, पंडित जी ने, हमारे गुरु जी ने जो बोला है, लिखा है, वो इतना चेंज हुआ है कि हमको मैसेज जो मिलना था उससे बजाय और चीजें मिलने लगी है।
हाँ।
और उसी कारण हमारे में अंधश्रद्धा बहुत आ गई है।
करेक्ट, वेरी गुड, डॉगमा।
इसलिए मैंने वो लिखा कि वो जो बताने जा रहे हैं मैसेज, सी स्टोरी इज टू टेल। अगर मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे कुछ छोटी सी बात बताई और अगर उसमें वो झूठ भी बोले होते, दैट इज नॉट द स्टोरी। वो जो बोले हैं वो मुझे मैसेज देने के लेके पे ये गधे इस दफा गिरा तो नेक्स्ट टाइम गिरे नहीं, इसलिए मैं बता रहा हूँ।
वेल सेड।
तो उस टाइम मुझे गधा शब्द पकड़ना नहीं है, उसका उनका जो मैसेज दे वो है वो पकड़ना है।
करेक्ट, वेरी गुड, वेरी ट्रू।
तो सेम थिंग ये शिवा और पार्वती का जो है, या वी हैवंट सीन देम, वी हैवंट हर्ड, दिस इज व्हाट वी आर रीडिंग इज फ्रॉम द बुक्स एंड फिक्शंस एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स।
राइट,
करेक्ट।
अगर ये लोग में भी लिखा है, जैसे पालतू रानी वेरी नाइसली सेड, स्टोरी पूरी बताई है। मैं भी दीपा की तरह आधे टाइम में ज्वाइंट हुआ, तो मैंने पूरा नहीं सुना, बट मैसेज इज दैट के भी चलो, यू नो, शिवा इज ऑल्सो ह्यूमन बीइंग एंड पुरुष है, सो पुरुष को तो सीधी आंगली से घी नहीं निकलती तो आंगली टेढ़ी करनी पड़ी होगी, तो ऐसा रूप लेना पड़ा होगा, तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
करेक्ट, सही बात है,
राइट,
सही बात।
तो मैसेज इज कि भाई बॉटम लाइन इज पार्वती जी को शिवा के साथ रहना था, हुक और कुक।
राइट।
पहले समझा, नहीं समझा, फिर जंगल में चले गए, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, आने दो, बाद में देखता हूँ मैं, ऐसा करके वो रूप दिखाया होगा और फिर सब सलामत हो गया।
So wonderful, sir. You're right, and thank you so much for that thing. यही तो beauty खूबी है हमारे show में. I'm so blessed to actually have people like you, Deepa, everybody contributing here because ये viewpoints से हम लोग बहुत सीख सकते हैं. Right, and thank you for sharing that also with us, sir. Really appreciate it.
Right.
And again, there is nothing against you, anybody, Deepa ji, or anybody.
No.
This is just my opinion.
Right,
When,
no.
when somebody says something against me, I always tell them one thing: you and I are the same. You are talking against yourself.
What? Yeah, that's true actually. तू बहुत कौन से लेवल पे चला गया हालतू बाबा?
अरे कभी कभार चलना पड़ता है.
No, no, you and me means we are not man or woman.
Correct.
Not man or woman. See, I was reading Gita ji में वो बताते हैं कि when we use the word पुरुष is not a female or male.
Yes.
Purush means male and female both.
Correct,
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Correct.
The Purush word is, when we use word Purush, it's not only for male.
Yes.
It is for both.
Correct. Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
Yeah,
Very
that is
true.
true actually.
And that's wonderful you bring it up because I hope we can actually do extended shows about these things. There's so much I want to ask you guys and learn from you guys. But wonderful. But thank you so much, sir. कभी मिलेंगे तो और इसके बारे में हम लोग चाय पी के सही ऐसे बातें करेंगे. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
And
you
देखो
for
कितना
calling.
अच्छा है ना बात भाई ये ऐसा ही होता है जब I miss those days when I used to be having conversations with my dad and everybody else, right? And they used to keep giving their interpretation of stuff, right? So those are something which actually our children nowadays are not able to get because they're occupied with what? Disney?
Yeah, they are
Or
occupied
a
with
Hello Kitty?
Hello. No, what Hello Kitty?
I don't know, whatever. I'm talking about this.
Yeah, Nick Jr., Disney, whatever, right?
So
Nickelodeon, yeah.
So the essence of our culture is getting lost over there.
Yeah.
So having these kind of interesting conversations actually gets them to excited also. See, what happened was because of the fact one generation missed out on all these things, right?
Yeah.
We come up with movies like Brahmastra.
That is true, actually.
Seriously, there's no deep processing
That
at
is
all.
so
I'm
true.
sorry, it was so shallow. I saw one of the other interviews of this with the Ayan Mukherjee guy. Everything seems so shallow. I was like, really? Is that what you think our audience are? Literally, an
Yeah.
audience are actually intelligent. Please.
That was one of the reasons that I didn't. I really felt so strongly against the movie is because it insults the intelligence.
Correct.
And it insults the heritage of the people who they are looking to entertain. Right? It really does. हमारा जो cultural heritage है उसको insult कर रहा है. It's like ridiculous, right? The kind of stuff that they showed in that particular movie. Anyway, I'm not going to unnecessarily plug that movie for people to go and watch how
No,
they've
no,
insulted
don't.
us. No, thank you. I think we did them a service, not a disservice. We actually did them a great service because a lot of people went and watched, claiming that a lot of people went and watched the movie. But people went and watched the movie क्योंकि क्या गंदा क्या है इस movie के बारे में. That is also another reason that they felt that. But one thing for sure, बंदजन, जो हमारी आज की जो शक्ति की स्वरूपिणी है वो ये रूप धारण के रणचंडी या चंडिका या what did I say, Chandraganta. The reason she took on that roop is what was her wedding roop to actually make sure that she gets the message across, to be able to match her bow, so to speak. That is the reason she took on that particular
And people don't understand why there's a tradition where we put turmeric on the bride.
Yeah, why? To cleanse all the energies.
Yeah, it is antiseptic.
The negatives.
It is antiseptic and first clears all those things, and there's a lot of logic behind it. Not even science. Science, of course, is the same thing.
That is true. So वो रूप धारण करते हुए उन्होंने, लेकिन एक चीज है that she did that in all. It wasn't, she didn't गुस्सा आके ऐसे नहीं किया उसने.
नहीं.
She did that with completely level-headed and with all the serenity in the world, with all the calm in the world, that she transformed herself.
So there's a question on Facebook right now which I want to answer right now.
What?
Aditi says, is that why we put the haldi before wedding?
Yes.
Yes, the story of Chandraganta. Yes, you got it.
Yeah.
So our traditions are defined by many of these things. It's about cleansing the energy. If you look at it, why was she golden color? Because she shed the light of darkness. Why did she have Chandraganta, the ring of the bells? That's why it's called wedding bells, right? That's what even our thing we call it as, what do you call that? It's called something in our Sanskrit language, right? When you actually...
when you do the Mangalarti, you have
non
the bell,
Mangalarti,
right?
the Gatti Madam, they have the certain thing which the bell rings there.
Yeah,
That's the reason for it, because you want to cleanse the energy part of it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the scientific or logical version of it, because in those days there was no concept of antibiotics, the only thing which you could use is turmeric, which is antiseptic.
And actually, if you look at it scientifically also, right, we are all manifestations of energy, right? Matter is a manifestation of a form of energy. So what does the bell do? It's actually displacing the vibrations, right? We're all manifestations for type of vibration, right?
Correct.
So it's
String theory.
displacing that vibration with the sound that it's creating.
Yeah.
Even when you do meditation, jo wo here hota hai na, the Tibetan bell and all that
Yeah.
stuff, there is a reason why you create that, because it creates that vibration around you that that changes the energy of the surroundings. So that is the reason that she has that bell also in one hand, is possibly one of the reasons that it could symbolize.
So now you know why you have the
Yeah.
haldi. Namaskar, आप कहाँ से बात है? पैप के wedding group में who's this? Hello.
हेलो पैम पैम आलतू बाबा, मैं आ गई फिर से.
अरे,
Hey, Deepa!
Thank you, Deepa. Deepa, I told you we love you, but why not video call? बताओ.
क्योंकि
We
we
love
don't-
to see your beautiful face.
मुझे लगा अभी
Deepa.
मतलब जल्दी मैं कॉल कर दूंगी.
दीपा,
फिर
सुनो.
कोई और मुझे अरे मैं
Suno,
भूल जाऊंगी
Deepa.
मैं जो
Let me
बोलने वाली.
let me say something, Deepa.
Like
Deepa.
about-
Deepa, we would love to see your beautiful face. You have spent so much money on it. Why you want to waste it now?
भगवान सच्ची में. देखो आलतू बाबा,
Good one.
अभी मैं भद्रकाली बन के आ जाऊंगी ना उधर स्टूडियो में.
अरे, आ जाओ.
एक
आ
मिनट,
जाओ यार.
उसी बहाने आओगी तो सही.
हाँ, exactly.
तुमको सच्ची में प्लास्टिक सर्जन के पास जाना पड़ेगा.
You know, that way, चलो, I always will look at the positive over there. आ जाओ. जब आओगे हमारा दिल हल्का हो जाएगा. अरे वाह, दीपा जी आ गए, दर्शन दे दिया हमें. And I will prostrate. What do you call that? Prostrate in front of you totally. Like, you know? Deepa Ma. Wow, very good. हाँ दीपा, come on, come to the point. Digress मत करो दीपा, come on.
आलतू बाबा अच्छा है ना तुम्हारे लिए. बाजू में बेटी रहती है, व्हाट डू यू कॉल दैट, उसको पूछते हो और बेचारी वो बोल देती.
So sweet, ना?
क्या?
What do you call that?
क्या?
Deepa?
What do you call what?
You for all the words he will ask you, right?
She's my
You are a
thesaurus.
dictionary.
She's a thesaurus. She's like, you know,
No.
at the time when we were born in, you know, the.
देखो
हाँ.
हम लोग देखो औरत इतनी नॉलेजेबल होती है. आलतू बाबा सीखो कुछ.
हाँ, इसलिए तो बाजू रखे ना इसको यहाँ पे.
बाजू रखा है,
मतलब-
बाजू रखा है, साइड में रखा है. तू सब में सुधरेगा नहीं रे
ठीक है,
यार
तेरे
तू.
को फॉरवर्ड रखा, फ्रंट पे रखा, फ्रंट पे. ठीक है. हाँ बताओ दीपा जी आप.
नहीं मैं ये बोलने वाली थी अबाउट लाइक इवन माई सेल्फ. आई टो इन द बिगिनिंग ऑल्सो बिकॉज मेनी थिंग्स मुझे खुद भी पता नहीं थे. लाइक ग्रोइंग अप लाइक ऐसा हो जाता है ना, यू आर सो बिजी विद लाइक स्टैंडर्ड जो बोलते हैं ना, जो कन्वेंशनल वे ऑफ ग्रोइंग अप.
सलमान खान
स्कूल
movies.
जाओ, घर पे आओ, होमवर्क करो एंड लाइक
सलमान
स्टैंडर्ड
का-
थिंग्स लाइक वी डू दैट.
सलमान खान फिल्म्स देखो.
व्हाट
सलमान खान पोस्टर देखो. हाँ, सही है, वही स्टैंडर्ड है, सबका वही है.
हे भगवान. सलमान खान का यू वॉन्ट बिलीव ऑल्सो एक भी पोस्टर नहीं था घर में.
अच्छा, सब दिल में था.
सब दिल में.
Yeah.
सब दिल में. इसीलिए तो ऐसा हुआ ना. कभी कभार टेक्स्ट बुक दिल में रखा करो.
हाँ.
हाँ.
Oh,
हाँ, बोलो
God.
आगे बढ़ो.
तो मतलब एंड जब त्योहार आता है यू ओनली लाइक यू नो घर में इट्स मोर लाइक वी आर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन लाइक हाउ टू सेलिब्रेट एंड ऑल द अदर इश्यूज राइट. लाइक प्रीस्ट मिला कि नहीं पूजा करने के लिए, और फूल मिले नहीं, ये मिला नहीं, वो मिला नहीं, एंड लाइक ऑल दोस घर में ये बना है कि नहीं. वी फोकस ऑन ऑल दोस थिंग्स. तो इस घमाघमी में and you end up not knowing the true essence. And now after like frankly speaking later on like when thanks to the TV, इसीलिए मैं टीवी बहुत लाइक करती हूँ.
अच्छा.
So like you know with the media right like that especially I तुम लोग बोलोगे वो सीरियल का नाम मत बोलो, मैं बोलूँ क्या सीरियल.
नहीं
Anyway,
सीरियल का नाम बोलो, लेकिन
there are many
कहने
serials
का मतलब है कि
भगवान
आप
के ऊपर.
यू आर गिविंग क्रेडिट टू सो मेनी थिंग्स. आप हमारे शो के बारे में बात नहीं करें जहाँ पे आपको
मैं हमेशा वही मैं बोल रही. लिसन, मैं वही बोल रही हूँ. इट्स गुड दैट वी आर हैविंग. और जो तुमने बताया ना दैट स्पेशली when he announced, Ayan Mukherjee announced this Brahmastra, right? Real and Shiva Part 1. I was like really remotely, I was hoping that finally some Bollywood is coming up with something which is like एक ही बार में सबको पता चल जाएगा, and he is giving a nice message like what Shiva is all about and how the things in a modern way. He had a very golden chance और उसने उसका पूरा कचरा कर दिया. I was really hoping that they will give something like this because these are good enough and very interesting stories. ये सबको आप अच्छे से कहानियों में पिरो के and like with all the what I can say, like if you present it well, why not?
Yeah,
there will be nothing like it.
Correct.
I understand totally. But can I say something, Deepa, if you don't mind?
हाँ बोलो.
छोटी मुंह बड़ी बात. When you said that, we get busy with organizing this and everything, right? There's a certain reason why I say I am a hardcore Sanatana Dharmi, because the tradition that we have in our system is what gets you to start thinking in those lines. You just follow traditions blindly, right? It's not going to help you. But if you know what you're doing, the traditions will automatically define your thought process. The tradition of having a puja place. Tradition of, if anything you do, have a morning before you leave, Mata take ke jao. Things like that, right?
Correct.
Those traditions are important, but you got to keep it consistent. You're not supposed to do it once and leave it afterwards. You got to do it consistently every time. You understand? It's akin to a modern science called CBT, cognitive based therapy. So basically, you're going to have behavioral therapy. So basically, you're going to be having your behaviors, whatever actions you do, right? It defines your thought process. So these were built over ages. It is not something which came up in 1,000 years. I know.
I agree with that part. मैं ये बोल रही हूँ जब हम लोग खुद छोटे थे, like
so कहने का मतलब
we
है
miss out on. I feel sometimes that इतना हम लोग ध्यान नहीं देते, like as you yourself when you grow up and when you have your own kids, and then there comes a time like you have to explain it to them, and that's when you start learning it. It is so it unravels on its own, like and it grows on you.
Yes. So, and the stories actually came into place when they wanted to explain the abstract concepts to people who are not scholars. That's when the stories came. I want people to understand that. I want people to open their minds to that particular, not take it literally, but like how Narenji and you also talked about the fact that the messaging got taken out of the story is important.
Correct.
But thank you so much, Deepaji. In fact, hold the line. We have one of your good friends actually has called us, I think probably from, I don't know where they are, but you want to take them on right now, Fatmani?
Yes.
Hello, namaste. कैसे हैं आप?
पैम पैम
पैम हाय पैम पैम, कैसे हैं आप?
सबको पैम पैम बोला, एक बंदी को नहीं बोला. क्या यार?
दीपा भी है ऑन एयर.
दीपा की बंदी भी है आपके साथ में? हाँ.
Stop.
हाँ?
Nothing.
सच बोलना बंद करूं? Okay, fine.
क्या? हाँ.
Anyway, I missed the whole show, so I still called because Naughty's fan, so you'll have to ask me what's going on.
Okay, I think you're in a spotty area where the network is very, because we're getting your sound in and out, like, I don't know. Deepa, can you hear her? Are you able to hear her?
नहीं, bits and pieces में आ रहा. विभा, तुम आराम से बैठ के हेडफोन लगा के पूरा प्रोग्राम सुनो.
हाँ, बाद में कॉल करो.
हाँ, आज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग.
आज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था. Deepa, you missed a lot. Deepa was totally like, Chandi, Ma Chandi.
हाँ,
I will listen tonight before.
Yeah, definitely. Today we actually saw the Pahado wali Deepa. Oh, sorry, Mata.
What?
Shera wali hai, Pahado wali hai. Pahado wali hai, Shera wali hai, Deepa boliye.
And I really इधर US आने से पहले मुझे ये पता नहीं था कि like you use the blue for like sad. I'm like, what? Why do they have to ruin it? Like I even now I completely I don't like the word using blue. Where like I feel blue, like all the. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, because we
Agree
didn't
with
have the
that.
concept of the color.
No, I think
Correct.
the blues came in when the blues songs were being composed, right? Because those are the songs that were being composed. Didn't it come out of the slavery movement?
Yeah, somewhere.
That was the time when they used to sing their pain away.
Yeah.
So the kind of
Oh.
music was called, I think I could be completely wrong, but I think that music was called, because that's that was when blues music came in, right? And then it became rhythm and blues. And then क्योंकि that was the music of the rhythm and blues came in when they started, because a lot of them were of African descent, right? And when they were brought in here, and there जैसे हमारे में how the freedom movement spread through or culture, right? Basically through music, through folk songs, through the patriotic fervor spread. Like that only this also happened, right? That's how.
So see, one of the reasons why we have Radio D Hotties, why do we have Media Mahima going on? Because Mahima ji was very particular about the fact that we should have our voice, because all the while we only have seen ourselves through the eyes of somebody else.
Correct.
The Western world has told about us.
Correct.
We should talk. That's why I encourage you guys, Deepa, everybody else to call our show, and that's wonderful when you guys call, because we hear our voices, you know.
And दूसरी
Thank you
चीज
for that.
दूसरी चीज क्या है, one of the biggest things is yeah, we have these big celebrations हम करते हैं, right? We do Durga Puja, but it is more of like it's shosha. I'm sorry, but that's how it seems like.
Yeah.
You know, how many people are actually following the tradition,
Yeah.
understanding every single thing in the tradition. I'm not saying no, please, I'm all great respects to everybody who's doing the
You're
organizing.
sounding like me
and all that.
nowadays.
What?
You're sounding like me. What is this?
What?
I'm rubbing off on you. Deepa, are you there?
No, but you know, even yesterday, for example, I went to a Golu, right? And that was the Golu where they do a thematic Golu, right? But it was so interesting because I spoke to the uncle there. That is, I mean, he's 86 years old, and he was telling me
God
the
bless.
tradition of how, you know, in their family, from Sri Rangam, how he showed different things. And in different places, Golu is kept differently, right?
Correct,
It
correct.
depends on
That's what
whether
Deepa
they're
told last time, remember?
whether they're Shaivite tradition or the Vaishnavite tradition, and how Lord Rama and Lord Krishna occupy more of a prominent place in their house.
In the Vaishnavite tradition.
In the Vaishnavite tradition, and so how everything is about. So those are things that one would you would never understand if you didn't actually sit down. It's not about going and taking selfies. Yeah, take selfies and all that. No, I'm serious, Altu Baba. I'm very, very serious. मुझे, this is what the reason I say this is
Hate
because
mails are going to come to you right now.
no, I'm really going to tell you because it is. I interact a lot with teens, okay? And I interact a lot with the tweens and kids. Lots. Much more than probably any parent can imagine. Purely because of the fact that we run this allyship program, right? So a lot of times when we've said, oh, I really don't want to go, auntie, but I have to go for this Golu thing. What is the Golu thing? So you actually wonder, they don't understand. They're like, nothing, we just have to dress up and go and sit there and then, you know, take pictures and come back.
Wow.
So this is what they understand of Golu. Isn't it sad, Deepa, when you actually think about it? And how many people are actually, is she there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, how many people actually, yeah, many people don't understand, you know, and jab aap Golu mein jaate ho, and then yesterday they came and they explained to us why the tradition of singing at a Golu is there. Right? Or whatever, right? So I'm just trying to say कि हम लोग जो इतने ब्यूटीफुल ट्रेडिशंस हैं हमारे उसको थोड़ा और डीप प्रोसेस करके प्लीज़ थोड़ा और सोच समझ के यू नो लेट्स इम्पार्ट बिकॉज अदरवाइज आवर चिल्ड्रन आर जस्ट गोइंग टू फॉरगेट
ऐसा होता है फालतू रानी कि वन थिंग इज लाइक मेनी पीपल ड्यू टू टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट बोल सकते हैं लाइक इफ यू आर विजिटिंग लाइक मल्टीपल गोलू दर्शन लेने का ठीक है एंड मेनी पीपल लाइक आवर जनरेशन लाइक मी एंड यू वी in by default many people know what it is ठीक है the quantity of knowledge might be less or more but you still know and have an idea why Dasara is celebrated why Golu is done and certain way you know it already and you don't have to listen to it every year and so like that way but for the younger generation yes you need that kind of knowledge transfer you do have to do it but in general, इसीलिए then you go one एक घर से दूसरे घर जाके तुम जो प्रसाद है वो प्रसाद दर्शन, and some people they do turn by turn, like like some of my friends each day they वो कथा सुनाते हैं एक के घर में मिलके, and they meet up at one place and do that each day. जो 9 लोग रहते हैं ना वो they divide in and they plan it before that so and so will be done.
Very good.
Very
Do they
nice.
serve chundal? I'll also go there. My simple thing is when I go to this kind of thing, I go there, sit to the katha, learn something from them, and I come back and I eat prasad and come. So it'll be good for my soul, which is there in my stomach.
And in a broader spectrum, Falturani, I agree what you are saying. लेकिन कभी-कभी again I said right कि due to time and this and that and other life happens and कभी-कभी time नहीं मिलता. But at the greater good, if you see, at least इतना तो कर रहे हैं ना, at least you are remembering in some way. पूरा छोड़ के तो नहीं बैठे हैं. So at least I
in a way she's right.
take that from at least you are little bit, at least there is something, and when our kids grow up they will remember that हाँ ये time पे दसरा आता है, ये time पे दिवाली आता है. Like you by seeing it helps you build up that memory and then it carries forward.
Deepa, I'll tell you one thing. So first and foremost, Falturani talked about 3 shows ago about something called as Nishkama Karma, right? Action without getting results. What we have to do is not disturb what's going on. Our job is not to interfere with what's going on. It's let it go on the way it's going on, because we are now in the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is, if you know the Kalpas, if you know the Yugas, Kali Yuga is the shortest Yuga of all things.
Yeah.
And we all are heading towards destruction, which will be a pralaya which comes up, and then we're going to come back to the Satyuga later on. We're going to come back all over again. We're going to count back again 4 million years. The point is, let it happen. We can't help it. But if we can, at the same time, whatever best we can, we'll find.
हो गया सब यार.
We are going to go. We are all on a fast track to hell. It's fine. It's okay. Hell is not a bad place, by the way. We are on a fast track to destruction.
I mean, not necessarily don't say that, but
Why?
मैं ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि like in my house, like we used to keep Ganesha for 5 days. My father, not my father, like Gopal's father के घर में, ठीक है? तो अभी हमने we reduced it to 1 day because 5 days we cannot do puja because वो कुछ नियम है जो हमको
exactly
नहीं हो सकते.
Exactly. Deepa, that is my point. एक मिनट hold करना.
Correct.
That is my point.
Yeah.
जब हम लोग कुछ हमारे जो traditions हैं, there is a significant reason behind each tradition.
Yeah.
Like for instance, there is something called a saligramam, which is there for the Vaishnavites, right? So that saligram, when you have that in the house, it requires a certain amount of puja for the energy of that thing to be manifest and to be able to spread the positive vibrations around the house. So if you cannot do it, then don't install the saligramam in your house, is what people say. That's something that I have heard a long time ago from my grandfather and my great grandfather and those people. But at the same time, yesterday it was great to hear when because you have to be, like you have to be sattvic. There are certain things that you have to follow. Otherwise, it's just shosha. Really, if you actually think about it, the people who mock us as idol worshippers are kind of right, because you're just putting a doll up there and you're keeping it there and you're saying that's God without actually manifesting the energy in it, the spiritual energy in it. You know what I mean? So it's shosha. We don't want that shosha. There is much more to us and much more to what we do and our traditions than what is perceived by an ignorant eye or a not so literate eye. Let's put it that way. It's just
I agree with what you are saying, लेकिन not necessarily everybody does. That is what I am trying to say.
Okay, now
जब वो everybody मतलब जो अभी आलतू बाबा ने बताया ना, जितना दिखता है, it's more to that, and maybe they do it later on and they know already the things and the stories, and they know not necessarily tell it to everybody every time.
Okay, so let me tell you, people who are still with us, thank you so much for staying with us, and we are in conversation with Deepa, one of our regular persons who always fights with me. And at Patrani. At today's show, if you want a wedding Roop, and why is Altuba taking such a big stance against this? Well, this is a point of saying that the goddess or the deity which we invoke at this particular time, Chandraganta, right? Chandraganta is a person, is a personification of a particular energy which comes in and dispels Andhakar. Which dispels, brings in brightness and knowledge into. That's why knowledge actually is, one people didn't understand is blue is associated with even knowledge, with wisdom. In other words, blue and wisdom actually can go hand in hand. The point is the show also, if you notice, we are trying to dispel the andhakar which we have about the shallow thinking which we have generally, processing of all this information. So trying to challenge that is what we did today. And thank you so much for shedding light on this particular topic, Deepa, and also Narenji. And also everybody else who actually joining us right now. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Deepa, for calling in, and have a beautiful, fantastic evening. We will see what we have tomorrow right here on the show, and please do join us then. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Deepa.
Thank you. And Abanajan, इसके साथ ही हमारा वक्त हो चला है. If you want to invoke Goddess Chandraganta, then one of the things that you can offer her on this particular day is any dessert that's made, a kheer that's made of milk, is what you would offer her. And you know, like I said before, the way you would, the reason you actually worship her is to ensure that you have serenity in your life, that you ensure that you have richness, prosperity in your life, and to ensure that at the same time the blessings, the grace of a compassionate mother, that is the Shakti, is manifest in your life as well.
Most importantly, invoking the compassion in you.
Yes.
Because she showed compassion towards the Shiva Rupa which came with all the Aghori. She showed compassion towards them by receiving them, by stepping down or stepping up to their level. And then telling them that, hey, you know what, probably people see you like how you see me.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the messages are there.
Right.
And a lot of things to learn by the way.
Exactly. And if you want to actually, Bandajan, want to be somebody who wants to manifest that compassion within you, and yes, Bandajan, compassion is actually an action element. आप बोल सकते हैं, I'm a very empathetic person, but unless you transform that empathy into action.
In Trump's word, empty empathy.
What is empty empathy?
That's what he said when Biden talked about empathy.
Yeah, you have to transform it into something that you are able to. That's when it becomes compassion, Banjan. So what we are asking you to do, we're giving you a wonderful opportunity, Banjan, on October 1st, that is this Saturday. There is an opportunity for you to transform your empathy and bring it into action.
Yes.
And experience the compassion and the absolute exhilaration that being in a community of individuals who are often forgotten. They are often secluded, often isolated. Bringing them all together and seeing the unbridled joy on their faces as you sing and dance along with them at our Dingchak Dandiya.
Yeah.
So please go ahead and book your tickets. pragnya.org/Dandiya 2022. We are grateful to those of you who have already booked your tickets. Please do not forget, क्योंकि food boxes हमें order करने पड़ेंगे already. So we are closing the food box orders as of tomorrow morning. So please make sure that you order your food. If you have not ordered your food, you may not have food that particular day. The boxes that will be there will be going for a premium price. So please make sure that you book your tickets as well as your food orders for that particular day right here. It's only $10 a ticket, Panchan, and it is going to support the work of this wonderful organization called Pragnya, which is completely volunteer run and only employs a neurodiverse employee.
Yeah.
Right? It's completely volunteer run, and the only all the funds are going to building opportunities and building a secure future for individuals who are neurodiverse. Meaning people with autism, people with cerebral palsy, people with Down syndrome, people with Prader-Willi. इतने सारे labels हैं, लेकिन वो भी इंसान है हमारी तरह. सब वही feelings महसूस करते हैं जो आप और मैं महसूस करते हैं. They experience the love, they experience the compassion just as much as they experience the isolation. Just as much they experience the judgment. So please, let's make happy memories for them. Please join us. pragnya.org/Dandiya 2022. इसी के साथ हम बोलेंगे that we have to be leaving right now because we have to prepare for our Dandiya 2022, the Ding Chak Dandiya that's happening on Saturday. Whatever you're doing, you could be pandal hopping, you could be doing whatever. In that बीच में हमारे आके यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ आके थोड़ा बहुत hop and dance करके थोड़ी देर के बाद go again pandal hopping. It doesn't matter.
Why not? Yes.
Right?
Yes.
तो इसी के साथ हम आपको बोलेंगे गुड नाइट
Sabba khair.
एंड प्यार भरा
You are listening to Radio D Hotties, powered by Mahima Creations.
Hey guys, this is Deepika Padukone and you're listening to me on Radio De Hotties with Arzu Baba and Faltu Rani, where entertainment just got hotter.